Imagine waking up knowing you might die within minutes. Imagine sitting in a landing craft, surrounded by silent soldiers, hearing nothing but the crashing waves and distant gunfire. It was June 6, 1944, the day that would be known as D-Day, the largest military invasion in history. That morning, over 150,000 Allied to 100 Nazi-occupied France. They knew this was not just another battle, this was a mission that could decide the fate of World War II. For years, Europe had been under the control of Nazi Germany, led by Adolf Hitler. Countries had been destroyed, and millions of lives had already been lost. But the Allies were preparing to strike back. Opening a new front in Western Europe was critical. The operation was called Operation Overlord, a massive and complex plan involving forces from the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, and other Allied nations. Everything had to be perfect, every movement, every timing, because even the smallest mistake could lead to total disaster. In the night before the invasion, thousands of paratroopers were dropped behind enemy lines in darkness. Others were killed before they even touched the ground, but still they pushed forward. Back on the landing crafts, soldiers were soaked, cold, and terrified. Many had never seen combat before. Some held letters from home. Others prayed quietly. Some simply stared ahead, waiting for what was coming. As the boats approached the shores of Normandy, the sound of machine guns grew louder. German defenses were already in position. Watching, then, the front doors of the landing crafts dropped, and everything turned into chaos. Machine before even reaching the sand. Those who survived jumped into the water. Some to the weight of their gear. Others pushed forward through blood and waves to try bull and mid zones of the entire invasion. Bullets were everywhere. Explosions shook the ground. The air was filled with smoke, screams, and confusion. There was no clear path, no safe place, just survival. Some soldiers hid behind obstacles. Others crawled through the sand. Many were too afraid to move, but slowly, step by step, they began to advance. Officers shouted orders, trying to regroup the men. Small teams formed under fire, destroying German positions one by one. It was brutal, close combat, grenades, gunfire at point-blank range. Every meter gained came at a cost. Meanwhile, on other beaches like Utah, Gold, Juno, and Sword, the fighting was also intense, but the Allies managed to push forward more effectively. By the end of the day, something incredible had happened. Despite massive losses, despite chaos and fear, the Allied forces had secured a foothold in France. D-Day had succeeded. But the cost was enormous. Thousands of soldiers were dead. Many more wounded. The beaches were covered in bodies. Yet this was only the beginning. The invasion of Normandy opened the path to liberate Europe from Nazi control. In the following weeks, Allied forces pushed deeper into France, fighting village by village, road by road, until eventually they began to break the grip of Nazi Germany. Less than a year later, the war in Europe would come to an end. D-Day was not just a battle, it was a turning point. A moment when courage faced overwhelming fear, when ordinary men did the unthinkable, because they had no other choice. Many of those soldiers were barely adults. Some lied about their age just to be there. They came from different countries, different backgrounds, but they shared the same reality. They were fighting for survival, for freedom, for a chance to end the war. Today, the beaches of Normandy are silent, peaceful, covered in memorials. But beneath that calm lies the memory of one of the most violent and important days in human history. The men who landed there knew the odds. They knew many of them would not survive. And still they moved forward, because sometimes history is not written by the strongest, but by those who refuse to stop, even when fear takes over. This was D-Day, the day that changed the war forever.